Quotes from John Owen. From the Kindle, Deep Christian Quotes and Bible Verses. First quote. When we realize a constant enemy of the soul abides within us, what diligence and watchfulness we should have. How woeful is the sloth and negligence then of so many who live blind and asleep to this reality of sin. There is an exceeding efficacy and power in the indwelling sin of believers, for it constantly inclines itself towards evil. We need to be awake, then, if our hearts would know the ways of God. Our enemy is not only upon us, as it was with Samson, but it is also in us. Second quote. The foundation of true holiness and true Christian worship is the doctrine of the gospel, what we are to believe. So when Christian doctrine is neglected, forsaken, or corrupted, true holiness and worship will also be neglected, forsaken, and corrupted. Third quote. On Christ's glory I would fix all my thoughts and desires, and the more I see of the glory of Christ, the more the painted beauties of this world will wither in my eyes and I will be more and more crucified to this world. It will become to me like something dead and putrid, impossible for me to enjoy. Fourth quote. He can make the dry parched ground of my soul to become a pool and my thirsty barren heart as springs of water. Yes, he can make this habitation of dragons, this heart which is so full of abominable lusts, and fiery temptations, to be a place of bounty and fruitfulness unto himself. Fifth quote. There is no broader way to apostasy than to reject God's sovereignty, in all things concerning the revelation of himself, and our obedience. Sixth quote. Holiness is nothing but the implanting, writing and living out the gospel, in our souls. Seventh quote. The choicest believers, who are assuredly freed from the condemning power of sin, ought yet to make it their business, all their days, to mortify the indwelling power of sin. Eighth quote. When the Holy Spirit does his work of regeneration in the hearts of men, he does not come on them with great powerful feelings and emotions, which cannot be resisted. He does not possess men, as evil spirits take possession of their victims. Ninth quote. Before the work of grace the heart is stony. It can do no more than a stone can do to please God. Tenth quote. Believers obey Christ as the one whom our obedience is accepted by God. Believers know all their duties are weak, imperfect, and unable to abide in God's presence. Therefore they look to Christ as the one who bears the iniquity of their holy things, who adds incense to their prayers, gathers out all the weeds from their duties, and makes them acceptable to God. 11th quote. But the Spirit was not limited to doing surprising and extraordinary things. He was present in the Old Testament period in giving civil rule and government, moral virtues, physical strength, and intellectual abilities. 12th quote. There is no way of deliverance from the state and condition of being in the flesh, but by the Spirit of Christ. Thanks.